So, Smithy, it's great to see you, mate. How are you travelling? How's COVID been for you?
Cheers, Gussie. Good to see you too, mates. Yeah, look, obviously a pretty different time in the world right now. Certainly not, haven't been able to travel for any cricket. Being winter, I generally spend most of winter out of here and follow summer everywhere playing cricket, which is nice. But yeah, these different times have, I guess, called for different measures. So been spending a lot of time at home, working on my fitness and, yeah, doing lots of running, getting stronger and having a bit of a pre-season, which I haven't had, I reckon, since about 2014. So going good, but I am itching to get back out there and play soon. So fingers crossed they can, get us. I think the next thing that is a potential for us is playing over in England, where we'll have to go and isolate for a bit and then play on the ground with no fans and stuff like that. But fingers crossed they can sort that out and we can get back out on the park to play some cricket.
So before we talk about England and your training and so forth, nice to be able to watch the Roosters, mate, because I know you're a passionate fan, but we've been a bit hit and miss in the last few weeks.
Yeah, we have. Obviously, a few injuries haven't helped. Big Victor Radley, I think, has been a big loss for us. I think he's a superstar. So look, they're still got some quality players. I think my favourite at the moment is CRCY Takiaho. He's playing like an absolute genius, the big fella. So, yeah, look, the boys are going okay. Hopefully a few more wins and, yeah, no doubt we'll be there come finals time. Congratulations
on getting Taco's name right. I have to do that at the Roosters launch every year, and I just go Takiaho, because I'm no chance of getting that name out. Well done, mate.
No worries, easy.
So let's talk about your fitness, because you look $1 million, and I've seen on Instagram you've been training hard and stuff. So just for all the kids out there that might be struggling a bit, not being able to go to training with their teams and squads, give them some tips if you can.
Cheers, Gussie. You look $1 million too, mate. You're on fire.
Thank you, mate. Only 28 kilos. It's only 28 kilos. No need to,
Oh, that's amazing, mate. Well done.
Thanks.
Proud of you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, look, obviously, with it being a bit different, I think I spent the, the first part of lockdown was, you're only allowed to go out for exercise and stuff. So I was going out running quite a bit. Felt like Forrest Gump for a bit there, just go out and just keep running. But yeah, I got into that. I really enjoyed it. Got my fitness levels up, and yeah, I've sort of backed off a little bit the last probably month or two, and I've been focusing a bit more on some strength stuff, which has been really good. I feel like I'm getting a lot stronger, which is nice. But yeah, like I said before, I'm ready to get back out and play now. I'm itching to pick up the cricket bat.
There was a period back there saying you hadn't picked up a bat for a few weeks. That's probably quite weird for you, with the fact that you did follow the sun everywhere and played cricket in various comps and obviously tours for Australia. How does it feel now that it's back, the new balance in your hand? Are you hitting them okay when you do get a hit?
No, I had one hit about probably 3 weeks ago, and I hit them well. So I thought, I'll put it back in the bag for a little bit. I don't want to start too early and peak too early. So, I've been playing. I think I had my 10-year anniversary since my first test last week. So
yeah,
I've been around for a while now. Played a lot of cricket, and I don't need too much to get myself back in the groove. So I'll probably start again next week, and then be good to go. If like I said, fingers crossed if England goes ahead. So yeah, looking forward to that.
It was interesting, Smithy, seeing you and Tim Payne's photographs around your 10-year anniversary, and you both look so young. And you obviously were a leg spinning sort of all-rounder, and he's obviously keeper and so forth. But how quickly has that gone? Because I think I mentioned on Insta another 10 years and another 10,000 runs. So that, no pressure.
I don't know if I've got another 10 years in me. We'll see. But yeah, look, it has certainly gone very quickly. Feels like just yesterday I was making my debut. So, I guess time, what do they say? Time flies when you're having fun. So, I absolutely love what I do, playing cricket, and you know, trying to go out there and enjoy it and entertain people as much as possible. So, yeah, I don't know. I think I've got a few good years left in me. I don't know if I've got 10 though.
Have you been missing? It must have been tough because I was just watching the West Indies in England and no crowd. And I know Isha Gur very well. And Isha and I did some stuff together before the Test series started in England. And she said, it's just so weird. It's just strange watching cricket, isn't it, in this way?
Yeah, it is different. And yeah, no doubt, you know, it would have been really different for those guys playing Test matches with no crowds. Particularly in England. England's such a, you know, you usually have the Barmy Army there creating plenty of noise and, you know, plenty of atmosphere. So, yeah, to be playing a Test match in front of no one will seem, you know, very foreign. So, I guess you just got to adapt, just play the game. It's almost like being back playing a club game in a way, with no crowd, and just getting on with the business. But, yeah, that might be, you know, how it is for a little while. So teams are going to have to just adapt and do what they can. And hopefully there's plenty of viewers on the television watching us.
Oh, there'll be no doubt about that. And the T20 World Cup as well, that was disappointing that it was postponed.
Yeah, I just, yeah, I think it would have been too difficult getting so many teams into the country to, you know, have to isolate and, you know, just from everywhere around the world. I dare say it was a logistical nightmare. So, yeah, they've probably made the right decision there. And
Smithy, it's been fantastic to see you get back into cricket again. Of course, it seems probably a long time ago now with the World Cup and the Ashes, but you know, we're here to talk to the boys and girls about what you've been through and how you've been able to get through it so well. In your own words, if like normally when we're at an assembly, it's a bit easier, isn't it? This is the first time we've done one of these, but in your own words, Smithy, how have you got through the difficulty of South Africa and come out the other side?
So when I got banned for a year, you know, that was pretty difficult for me to sort of take. You know, I love playing cricket, love going out there doing what I do, and to have that sort of taken away from me, you know, it was really tough. And you know, I went through some pretty dark times in the year off, but you know, I was really fortunate that I was able to have a close group of people around me. You know, 4 close people, I'd say, that I'd be able to talk to and help me get through when I was going through difficult times. You know, had times where I sort of suffered some like anxiety, had sort of shortness in breath and things like that. And just being able to talk about what I was going through, what was on my mind, and have people there that wanted to help me and sort of help me get through it was really beneficial. And, you know, I guess I sort of learned that you can't just bottle things up and just take on all the brunt yourself. You know, the best way to do things is to get them off your chest, talk about what you're going through, and hopefully you got someone there that can listen and help you and give you some advice. But even if they can't, just being able to talk about it makes you feel better. So, you know, I found that really important for me, and really thankful and grateful that I had, you know, people around me that were able to help me through those difficult times.
I think one of the most lovely ways you've described the ways you've coped with stuff, or some coping mechanisms over the year or so we've been working together, is with the balloon. Could you explain to the kids that particular way of looking after yourself?
Yeah, look, I think, so I use an analogy. It's sort of every problem you face or everything's going on in your mind that, you know, causes some kind of anxiety or anything like that. And if the more you just keep it bottled up and you don't deal with it, it's like blowing into a balloon. And the more you keep, you know, bottling things up and not getting them off your chest, you know, you keep blowing into that balloon, and it gets to a point where, yeah, that balloon bursts. And in life, when you get to that point, that's, you know, that's the end of the line. And we've seen it with a lot of people. You know, when I first got involved with Gotcha4Life and Gus here, it was, you know, hearing the stats, 6 men, 2 women a day committing suicide in Australia. I thought those numbers were just staggeringly high, and I wanted to get involved to try and create an awareness around this, because those stats are just simply unacceptable, and there's plenty of work that needs to be done in this space and helping out people's mental fitness, that's for sure.
That's right. And I love the fact that you call it mental fitness, because we're trying to change the wording around it for all the kids out there. If you think about mental health, it's got a bit of a negative connotation. If we talk about physical fitness and mental fitness, then you know that you've got things to work on. So for me, 146.5 kgs back at Christmas, line in the sand, got myself to 118. I'm still working on becoming better and stronger, but I'm working on my physical fitness. We need to work on our mental fitness just like that, don't we? We need to be able to share our issues, get stuff out there, and look at ourselves as a whole body, not just physical fitness, but mental fitness too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's incredibly important. And yeah, just being able to, like I just mentioned, just being able to talk about things with people. You know, we use another analogy when we talk, or another phrase, that I think friends are different to mates. You know, you've got your mates that you guys at school, you hang around with, and, you know, you have a laugh with and what have you. But then I think you've got friends, and friends are those that I think are close to you, and the people that you can have those deep conversations with, just letting them know what you're going through, and, you know, that person's there for you to help you and listen to you. And, you know, it can also be really difficult being that person, the one that's doing the listening, because that can be, those conversations can be really awkward, particularly between, you know, young men. So just, I guess, being able to, you know, listen and then give some kind of advice, you know, whether it's, you should talk to your parents, or you should go and talk to, you know, a school counselor or a professional or something like that. It's difficult, but also that takes a lot of courage to be able to be the person that's on the other end of the conversation.
Oh, 100% right. And I suppose that the way to describe it might be easy for the kids is if someone had a sore arm and you're not sure if it's broken or not, well, you can comfort them and you can let them know they're okay, but you're not going to be the doctor that puts it in plaster and fixes it. So you're just like a link. But the fact that someone shared something with you is lovely. And the fact that they're not worrying alone is even more important, because I truly believe, Smithy, that suicide is a death of loneliness, a disconnection where people think that they're on their own. And if they leave this world, no one's going to be that worried about it. And that's just so sad that someone feels that they're that alone.
Yeah, it's so sad and so, I guess, untrue, you know, like,
yeah,
if someone takes their own life, it's, you know, so many different people in the community are affected around you. And I tell you now that you'll have so many people out there that are missing you. So, look, I think for me and particularly young men, I think it's been a bit of an old school, or outdated way of thinking that men just have to, you know, be, you know, I'll be right, or, you know, just get on with it. That kind of mentality. I think that's outdated and old school now. I think it's being able to talk about your feelings and what you're going through in your mental state and things like that. I think that's the new way of living as young men, and being able to have those conversations, I think, make you more courageous than someone that's willing to just say, you know what, I'll just take it on myself. It's not the way to do it.
No, I couldn't agree more. And some blokes that you talk to sometimes go, I don't want to be that whinging bloke in my group of mates that brings everyone down. But it's not having that deep and meaningful conversation every 5 minutes, is it? It's having that conversation with one of your mates that you've turned into a friend at the right time. That could literally save your life, because all of a sudden you realize that, oh my God, I've got someone here who cares about me.
100% right, mate. Can't agree more.
The other thing I love about what we've been doing, Smithy, is the fact that you've shown so much openness and vulnerability about what had happened and how you've come out of it. And a lot of people put that down to a mental toughness that you have out on the cricket pitch as a batsman or as a fielder or when you were skipper. Could you give the kids any advice on how you get into that mental framework to be able to be open, honest and vulnerable, and to be able to cope so well mentally?
Yeah, I think it takes a lot of work, and I think it, like I sort of mentioned earlier, having good people around you that can sort of help you in, every aspect. Say, Steve, you're carrying on a bit now, or Steve, you're just help you in any way you can. So not just there to have those deep and meaningful conversations when you need help, but also being able to give you some, a kick up the backside if you need it, if you're carrying on or you're not doing your job properly and things like that. So, those people around you are so incredibly important in so many different ways.
I suppose when you have someone like your wife or your best mate or your manager or your dad, who I know they're your four rocks that you totally relied on through dramas, it's like you say, it's not all about, oh, Steve, we're here for you, we love you. It's like, hey, mate, you're a pork chop here and there. It's an honest conversation, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. They're pretty quick to tell me when I'm carrying on. So I try not to make that, happen too much, but, we all get into mischief every now and again. So, but yeah, look, those people have been, amazing for me and helped me get through, dark times and, get me back on the road. And it's, I guess I'm very grateful that I've had those people in my life.
I think it's the manliest thing to do is to be someone who speaks up. So at the back of the Man Up program, it was, it's all about, manning up, speaking up rather than manning up, shutting up, which was probably what your old man and your generation and these young guys now that we're talking to on the Zoom, speaking up is the manliest thing you can do, because it actually takes you out of your comfort zone, doesn't it? It takes you to a place that is uncomfortable and it might be hard to say it out loud. That's got to be harder to do than just burying your emotions and just putting on the mask and getting on with it.
Yeah, it certainly is. And I guess I touched on it a little bit before, I think it's such an outdated way of thinking that blokes should just have to, burden everything and just take in everything. I think the manliest, way of living is being able to talk about what you're going through, get it off your chest and move on, or get some help or do whatever you need to do. But bottling it up and, just letting it stay inside of you and not get it out, it isn't the right way to live. And we've seen that there's so many stats that prove that that's the wrong way to live. And yeah, being able to talk about it is 100% right, I believe.
You're absolutely right, Smith. You never worry alone. If you never worry alone, then you've always told someone about what you're worrying about, and that hopefully should make your decisions or the way you think about things better. Smithy, normally at this stage we would ask the school kids for questions. So what I've been able to do is actually get some questions from some school kids over the week. How do you feel when you go out to bat? Do you get nervous? And if so, how do you control those feelings?
I wouldn't say I get nervous. I reckon when I was younger, I used to get a little bit nervous. Now I kind of just get excited. It's, I think not putting too much pressure on yourself is important. So for me, I know I work really hard at practice and I've done all the preparation. I've trained. I know what I'm facing. I know what I'm coming up against. So I've got no surprises really. So I've done all the work and then it's just about going out there and doing the job. So just enjoying what I'm doing, staying as focused as I can and, having fun while I'm out in the middle.
I remember we went to the Shore School on a Friday and they had a game on the Saturday. They were halfway through the game and there was one of the batsmen there that was not out. And you just said to him, mate, don't leave it to anyone else. Go and get the runs yourself. You're the not out batsman. Don't think someone else is going to get it for you. And I wish I had got that information when I was playing cricket at school, because I always thought, I'll just slog it and someone else will get it done. That's a great bit of advice for any cricketers.
Yeah, I think, I play cricket because I love it, but I have the most fun when I'm out in the middle. So it's no good if I get out and I'm sitting in the sheds and I'm angry at myself and I'm sitting there watching someone else score runs. I prefer to be out there doing it myself. So yeah, that's my mindset really.
It's great. The next question, how do you feel when you are not winning? Is there more pressure? And how do you cope with that?
Yeah, I think there's always plenty of pressure around when you're not performing to, the best of, or as you'd like, both personally and collectively as a team. You're always facing that kind of pressure playing international sport, in any sport. So I think for me, it's about just focusing more on processes, and know that, if I'm training well, if my mind's in a good place, and I'm just enjoying myself, and I think collectively the same, if we're enjoying ourselves and training hard and doing the right things, back that the processes that we're going through are gonna deliver results, and not always, sometimes you've got to give, tip the hat off to your opposition. You can be outplayed as well. It's when you're not sticking to your processes and what you're trying to, the way you're trying to play and things like that, that when you lose, you can start looking at certain things and different things creep in. But when you're outplayed, sometimes you've just got to say, you know what, you outplayed us today. That's part of sport.
Yeah, too good. How do you block out the crowd noise, and does it distract you? What is the trick to staying focused when you're out there in the middle?
I hear the crowd in the background. I don't really listen to what's said or anything like that. I kind of just hear noise. So I don't know how I've sort of taught myself that over the years. I guess just experience of playing. I think when I first started playing in front of big crowds, I used to hear everything. I used to, I could hear someone yelling out something and just, I could hear it. Now I don't really listen for it. So I don't recognize it as much, I suppose. But yeah, just being able to blank it out and focus on the job at hand, and focus on what you're trying to do is really important. So can be difficult at times, but the more you play and the more experience you get, you kind of get used to it a little bit.
Yeah, it's a great skill to be able to have. My daughter says, I don't want to ask him, this is one of my mates, I don't want to ask him a question. I want to ask him nothing about cricket. I want to ask him what his favourite dance move is. She's only a 4-year-old girl.
My favourite dance move?
How do you cut it on the dance floor? Any decent... Are you on the dance floor if you're at it? If you win a series, or are you more likely to
have a seat somewhere? I don't have the best tips in the team, that's for sure. So yeah, you don't see me on the dance floor too often. I don't even know many moves. I don't know. Maybe what's the one the kids are doing these days? The floss, is it? Or is that a bit outdated as well? I don't know.
That one or something?
Yeah, the old cross the body, whatever it is. Yeah, the floss. Let's go with that.
I think you're at least 6 to 12 months off there. I reckon that's been surpassed, but I don't know either, Smithy. So neither is John Travolta, that's for sure. So here's a joke from that same young girl. She goes, I'd prefer to tell him a joke. Have you heard the one about the garbage truck?
No.
Don't worry, it's just a load of rubbish.
Jeez.
Which sums up my joke telling. But Smithy, thanks so much. Thanks so much for joining us and for giving us a bit of a rundown on the last couple of years. I suppose what I'd love to say from Gotcha4Life's point of view is that we're really available once Steve's schedule allows us to, and if you guys need any programs that we can support into your schools, that's the most important thing, Smithy. Looking outside the box now on what it takes to be a man or what it takes to be a girl, and being open, honest, and vulnerable is the go. I think you've proven that.
Absolutely, and I think the last thing I guess I'd like to say is, guys in schools there, just find that person or people that you can have difficult conversations with when things are getting tough or things aren't going well. Find that person, whether it be at school or in your footy team or your cricket team or whatever. Find that person or people that you're able to sit down and have a deep and meaningful conversation with, because we all go through difficult times all the time, and being able to have that person or people is, you know, so incredibly important. So go out there and find that person.
Whether you're Steve Smith or Hugh Jackman or Chris Hemsworth, whoever, everyone goes through tough stuff, right? And it's a matter of building a good support network around you. So don't think that celebrities have got it all sorted and their life is just perfect. It's not. We're throwing a perfect out. If 2020's taught us anything, Smithy, perfect is out, and we're just going to do our absolute best. And thanks for your time, mate, and best of luck in the with all your training, and hopefully we'll get to see you over there in England.
Thanks, mate. Cheers, Gussie.
Good on you, Smithy. Thanks a lot, mate.